Welcome y'all to the Reality or Not podcast with nothing new under the sun with your boy Brian Clancy and your boy DJ Reality. What's good with you, Brian?
Hey man, it's life is life, and
Man,
I'm chilling like a villain. Last name Macmillan, right?
that's right. I love it. Shit, man. What's been good with you, man? We ain't talked in a minute, man. We got a few things we can focus on, life events, and then you got Super Bowl, you got everything that's going on in general. What's some things
Dang,
that you want to
we have actually haven't talked since I went to Istanbul to go do the whole full health check thing.
Yeah, man. So how was that? How was that experience?
Oh man, that was wild. It's wild to go to a whole nother country, and where I don't know a lick of Turkish. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to get a point across and not knowing anything, and people. Yeah, it was weird. Like I can kind of understand Spanish. I'm not saying that I'm a Spanish speaker or whatever, but to go all the way over there, to witness, the people, and they had some great food over there. The great Mediterranean food, but man, it was wild. It humbled me because I got a taste of, are you really healthy versus how you feel healthy. But it was a great. I'm putting together a video about it to give all the numbers and stuff on it, like how much I spent, what it took for me to get there, and the schedule was kind of crazy because the time changed. They're 8 hours ahead of us, so at 12 o'clock at night I was going to the hospital to do these
Damn.
tests. So yeah, it's weird.
So let me ask you this question. Like usually, I don't know, maybe it's just I've traveled with groups before. Like, did you have somebody that was kind of showing you around, or was you just kind of just filling it out as you were out there?
Oh no, I was completely on my own. I went solo because I didn't want to pay for nobody else to go.
Okay. No, I feel you. No, but that say for instance when I went to Cuba, right? It was
Uh-huh.
a dude. Well, no, I want to say Cuba was a little bit different. When I went to actually, yeah, Cartagena. It was a
Colombia,
dude, huh?
Colombia.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was a dude that was kind of like he came with the Airbnb. He would
Mm.
take us places and we would like just places that we want to go to and etc. Like get his food. And then but he was kind of showing us Cartagena, so like how you ever done something not necessarily with Istanbul, but how you ever did something like that where you're so because that did kind of happen in Cuba, but it just so happened within Cuba the it was a chick that she was with the dude that was showing us around. So, we didn't, have to necessarily tip him or anything like that. But he was more familiar with the area, but versus because I don't think I've traveled. No, well, take that back. When I went to Medellin, I didn't have that. So it was kind of just exploring on my own, So I'm just curious on like, have you done that experience? And if so, what was the differences?
Usually when I go out the country, I've tried a bunch of few things. What I really don't want to do is I don't want to be treated like a gringo. Like I want to be treated like a white man. Like even when I went to Hawaii, and go to a luau, pay to go to a luau, and they kind of perform for you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, dog, this ain't the real stuff, right? So most of the time, like when the
Nigga,
first
you
time I
want the
went to,
hood?
I really want the real culture and not just the presentation of the culture, right? So
Nigga,
when
I
I
don't want the
went,
real culture. Nigga, I don't want to go to Jamaica Bahamas and y'all be like, yeah, let's go get some real authentic. No.
nah, see,
I,
I hit the streets. Like even like my first time in DR, got off the boat, and I was like, I don't want to do the touristy thing. I don't want to do one of the because being on the cruise, you basically be in Americanized states, right? Like the important stuff is all Americanized, and then getting outside of that, you kind of on your own.
mm-hmm,
Because I did go on a 10-day cruise in December too, so went to a few countries, and that
mm-hmm,
was wild.
mm-hmm,
Because I didn't know we still had colonies in 2025. Well, it's
yeah,
2026,
mm-hmm,
but no. So I try to go and I try to witness the people, and like I want to go to a restaurant that's on the streets versus the restaurants that they pushing you to. I ain't really concerned about my safety because I know where I'm from and where I've been, and I know if I don't feel safe, I know what to do to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, So when I went, hey,
no, I'm just not saying a little bit because nigga, like I was in Cartagena and I went off on my own and I damn near like nothing happened, but it could have happened. Like I literally went off. I was like, like the cats that I went with, they would stay back at the Airbnb. And I was like, well, I want to go to this place to go eat because, I'm looking at the reviews and stuff like that. I'm literally walking in, mind you, I'm walking down the street. As I'm walking, and I don't know where I'm quote unquote at. So, I'm following my phone and, the navigator, dude, I'm walking with my phone in hand. Somebody, a motorcycle rode up right by me, tried to snatch the phone out of my hand, and they just kept going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have literally not known where I was at if he had took my phone.
See, I can't even see doing that because, like, to me, like, I never look at my phone. I never really have my phone in my hand.
And like, get there. I didn't know where I was going.
You got your watch. You got your watch, don't you?
No, I didn't have no watch at that point in time. Like, I literally had to navigate. I was navigating to the restaurant.
A lot of times I'm trying to remember because I don't know where, like, I don't know these people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're trying to get. You know what I'm saying? So like,
dude tried to steal my phone. He literally and just kept going like it was nothing. I was like, what the fuck? And luckily, I had kind of like a tight grip. I wasn't like, if I had it like loosely in my hand or whatever, he'd have had my phone, and then I'd have been stuck in the area that I would have, natural navigation. I'd have figured out, but I'd have been without a phone and shit. I mean, at that point in time, shit, they could have did whatever they wanted to me in that bitch. So. I was walking shook the rest of the walk. Like, and I only had like maybe about half a mile apart.
They was probably picking on you like you go into a neighborhood and they be like, where you from, folks? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I ain't going to those neighborhoods. Look, the dumbest shit I've ever done in life, it wasn't that bad because nothing happened, but the dumbest shit I've ever done was go to Crenshaw and Slauson. And the only reason I went was because of NWA, Ice Cube, and Boys in the Hood. I was like, in Menace. I was like, oh, well, I was like, I want to go to the Jack and the Crack where Kane got robbed. Or no, where Kane's cousin got killed. Oh, okay. I was like, and then I'm over there on Crenshaw and Slauson. Whatever. It wasn't, like I said, nothing happened. It was during the daytime, but at the same time, why in the hell was I risking it all on where they're portraying violence that's where violence is supposed to be happening within that city. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's kind of
what's
weird.
What's the name got shot on Nip got shot on Crenshaw and Slauson, like got murdered. So it's just like he owned property during the daytime, you know what I'm saying, and got murdered.
But that's when most of the time these cats know each other and they doing that thing. But like, so I went my first time going to LA, I went to the Magic Johnson Theater little thing, right? Mm-hmm. And it was at night, right? And so we was out there chilling, like it was, and they got to shooting out there, and I was like, hey, I know how this operate. But I was like, yo, this we was actually at the Starbucks because I was like, why is Starbucks open at like 10 o'clock at night? Because that's like 2 o'clock, that's like 1 o'clock our time. And I was like, no, I'm not getting coffee at this time of the night. But I thought that was cool. And like and then that I had went back to LA and ate at that same restaurant that PMJ or whatever.
Yeah, with the Roscoe's. I go to Roscoe's every time I go to LA. That's literally my I don't know if I went to the one on I've been to multiple because I know there's two of them, but then after I went to one, they was like, bro, you need not go to that one. And then I just kind of just went I stayed at the other one, you know what I'm saying? But that was after the fact. But yeah, man, I mean, I get, I don't know that PNB Rock, but look, you can't be stupid either. You know what I'm saying? Like PNB Rock was in there with chains on and stuff like that. Like you can't stun on niggas and expect, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. You can show your wealth, but you can't just be out here like,
no, you can't.
And niggas will catch you up,
So here's the thing. You can't go in front of hungry people eating everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not offer them some. Like that's the craziest part about it. So like my craziest part is traveling. I went to Juarez. I was in El Paso for work, and my coworker thought it was funny. This is before you need a passport. Well, you can still go across the border without a passport. But my coworker was like, "Yo, I'll take you to Juarez and stuff." And I was like, "Okay, bet I'm running. I'm good." I don't know what it is about, I know pressure and whatever, but man, these little short dudes was getting in a whole hissy fit because I was there. And I was like, dog, what I do to them people? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that was the wildest stuff ever because like they
Just
was
by your
ready.
presence, not even anything that, which is crazy to me.
And he worried about me taking his girl or whatever. And I was like, yo,
I
I'm
don't
just
want your
trying to
girl.
see. Yeah, I'm just trying to see what it is, right? And my boy, like, and his name was Tomac, right? Tomac was like, I guess that's Spanish for Thomas or whatever. But he was like,
Are you talking about Tomas?
Tomas, yeah.
Yeah, that was my Spanish name in junior high school.
Really?
Yep. Tomas. That was my Spanish name for 5 years. Tomas. Yeah.
Yeah. So he take me to this bar, and like I think he kind of connected, so he never felt in fear of his life or whatnot. But like these little dudes had guns and everything, and I'm like, yo, you don't even know me. And Tomac was laughing his butt off because he was like, he tough, and I was like, I don't know who I'm talking to at the same time, but like I'm like, I don't speak Spanish, not a lick of Spanish.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
And this little dude just, but I'm with my people. You know what I'm saying? He just cracking.
Still dangerous though, because you don't know what they're saying back to him, man. It's like, bro, like, yeah, that is. Look, I'm just getting a little bit older, but as I'm getting older, I'm like, man, look, I'm trying to be in the safest spots, and don't get me wrong, I'm not strictly with my people or anything like that, but I don't ever want to be in a situation where it's like, bro, why you got on that red shirt? Like, we don't do that over here. Like, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know the culture, I didn't know, but and that could be, just stopping at the wrong gas station and stuff like that in LA. Like, you just don't know.
But Chicago, like the way you wear your hat is an issue. So that's why I'm like, no, you talking about the Wild Wild West, but Chicago at the time, I ain't never had smoke, but I had smoke in Chicago, and I ain't never did nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, you roam the streets of Chicago for
one time. Nigga, but it wasn't even on the hat. It was, I mean, we was in, like, I had did a you call it a what's the Latino dude?
Quinceañera?
No, the Latino dude that reggaeton that was pop. Daddy Yankee. We had did a Daddy Yankee in store when I worked for Universal, and of course, we're doing it in the Latino community, or Humboldt Park in Chicago. And my guy, he went with me, and we just walking down the street, walking to my car, and dude just started yelling out some shit, and I'm like, and my boy, he from Chicago. My boy's like, bro, don't pay attention, just keep going, because dude yelled out because his dumb ass had on a hat, a shirt with a crown on it. You know what I'm saying? The Latin Kings, they don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they start, saying their name and they, and all that set and they sets and stuff like that. But I didn't grow up around gang culture or anything like that, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So that shit threw me to fuck. Nigga, you get murdered in Chicago with that shit on, nigga. Nigga, I got one shirt with a crown on it, and and it's funny. I think about that shit all the time. It's like this Biggie shirt that I got, and it's like the little baby, and the baby got the crown, King of New York type of shit. But nigga, every time I put on that shirt, I think about. I'm like, damn, I remember that Latin King shit. Like every single time. But no, that nigga got caught out in that shit. But like I said, we ain't a part of the gang or a part of the issue. So the niggas is like, niggas kept it moving. But nah, nigga, they will nigga. No,
it's protocol.
I'm not offending any code. Like, if somebody be like that, but that's the tricky part about society in general, where we're at now. I mean, that could be kind of where we could pivot, but we could stay where we at. But that's just how culture. Like, you don't know who you're offending. Like I said, I can have on a I don't know,
a mega hat,
a purple shirt, and somebody be like, nigga, like, that you don't wear that shit, nigga, only LGBTQ, like, wear that shit. And then I'm like, fuck, I didn't know, what I'm saying? I'm sorry, keep it moving. You don't know who you offending. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then there's some people that know they offended people wearing them Confederate flags and mega hats and stuff like that. So I think
but niggas be saying dumb shit and be offending, and then wonder why, like, you under pressure. You know
But
what I'm
like
saying? Like,
I think I wrote a status. I was like, yo, you can say whatever you want to say. You can't pick the consequences for what you say, though.
just gotta
You know what
stand
I'm
on it.
saying? Yeah,
You just
yeah,
gotta stand
yeah,
on
yeah.
it. I mean, and
So
that's the bottom line. Like, I mean, you can, I mean, you could reel that. You could. Pride is the one thing that'll be the downfall of many. And I say that as in, like, if I offend someone, I will like, hey, look, I'm sorry that you were offended. I didn't. It wasn't by design. It wasn't by. And that's the difference between like saying things that are offensive, but then getting caught up in like nigga, don't like it's offensive to some. It's just like the N word or nigga and shit. And it's like I remember it used to be the whole big deal on why we can't say nigga, and I'm like, yo, because you can't. Like that it's offensive to the black culture. And like, well, but y'all say it in songs and da da. I was like, yeah, we say it. You can.
Again, you can say it. You just don't get to pick your consequences for what happened after you say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a trigger moment. And so, like, if I feel like it's a trigger moment and I don't want to give you the grace to be like, oh man, my bad, then it is what it is. Right. So you got people, and I'll put people in here. You got people that say stuff, especially behind the computer, and don't think you can be touched. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be like, yo, wait, have that same energy. I'm like Butler when you say, have that same energy when I see you, because like that's what's wrong with these young people altogether. Because like I got into it at the
young people, nigga. It's old people.
I don't know, man. Like I got into it at the.
I'm saying old people saying shit too. I'm saying like our age, if not older. You know.
So at the basketball court, the only time that I ever had some issues, just nigga called me a bitch. And I said, wait,
you can't call no.
Yeah, I was like, no, we like it fits a cuss.
What's the name called? Draymond. I think that was I think that was the trigger to Draymond like punching damn near through the wall, punching his face through the wall and shit. Yeah,
hey, but I get it. And so my man from Chicago was like, yo, you gotta deal with the consequences of what you said. He an old school dude, and we don't just go around calling each other bees, right? And so like, but I was going to get him. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, no, like I threw the ball at him, and I was and that's when everybody come at me, and I'm like, don't grab me, grab him. You know what I'm saying? Push him out the way, because now I'm getting mad at everybody, right? Because you grabbed me and he hit me.
Melo and KG. He's KG. You remember it was supposed to be? He said Lala tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios and shit.
He's like, yo, and he waited for him at the bus.
Yeah, he's waiting for him at the motherfucker. They said he took the. I was watching Iman Shumpert said he took the fastest shower ever, and said that they went down and just waited for him at the bus. It's about said KG was like, man, over basketball. like you just don't say stuff to certain people because you know that it might trigger them, man. But yeah, you don't call nobody no bitch. Like, but you know what? Sometimes it's weird to me, and that's why I said I don't try to understand it. Like, I don't call. If I'm gonna call somebody a bitch, like everybody gonna be a bitch. Like, it ain't gonna be, But then, women can find offense to. I've heard like some statements in the video I record right whenever I'm going to the gym. It'd be like, what I say? I say, on the way to the gym, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had people reach out, like talking about like, damn, I gotta be a bitch. I was like, nigga, like this ain't to you. This isn't a personal video to you, nigga. This is like something I literally post every morning before I'm hitting up the gym. Like, on the way to the gym, bitch. And it's like, and you found a way to make it about you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga, it's not, but in this scenario, I'm like, no, it was not directed at you per se. And I think some people understand, but I feel like most men do understand, or all men understand. I haven't had any encounters with a man saying, "Man, what the hell are you saying?" But I have had somebody jump in a Facebook and Instagram DM like, "Why are you calling people bitches?" I'm like, "Nigga, like that's how we talk."
Yeah, some stuff is just not. Yeah, I don't know.
But when you direct bitch at me, oh no, I told you that. I think I told you the one scenario on the pod, but chick talking about like, well, why you got to be acting like a bitch? I was like, oh, it's like I'm gonna leave now. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was either I could stay there and be a bitch, or or I could leave as a man. You know, it's like, nah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's when you be like, you see a bitch, smack a bitch.
yeah, I mean, because like I'm trying, like, and then now I got a case against me because like just because somebody said something
See,
dumb.
and that's my issue, dog. If you talk that talk, if you say something and you don't, you want to call the police, and that was the reason why my boy was like, dog, don't even do it. You know he'll call the police. And I'm like, how you gonna be that tough to say something and then be a police caller? You know what I'm saying? Like that's trash to me. You trash.
And now once you done opened up the gates, or once you done once you're ready for fisticuffs, there's no like there is no calling the cops or anything like that. Like, oh well, he beat me down, da da da, and like nah, that's some bullshit. So
yeah, but then let me get back to Turkey. So went to Turkey by myself. The whole idea was to do this whole health check. So that was a more scarier stuff than being in. So Turkey, Istanbul is on two different continents, right? So I got a chance to be in Europe and Asia at the same time. So I was like, hey,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's two continents at once. So I was like, okay, cool. That's an experience. But the whole experience of going through and getting all these tests and getting, poked on and putting this thing on your head and then scanning your head and really just I was setting the baseline for what health means to me, right? Mm-hmm. So my blood pressure, I got hypertension, and I'm gonna go ahead and admit I got hypertension. Mm-hmm. And so I'm working on that right now, doing different things on that. But like the city, super cool. I didn't get a chance to really check it out because I was, like I said, it was mostly medical stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a tight schedule. I did 6 days. 7 days, which equate to 6 days on the ground. And it was like everybody. It was all love. I got one question about my government. He was like, "Yo, like," he was like, "You American?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Don't you know there's a war going on?" And I was like, "I ain't got nothing to do with that."
War?
Yeah, it's a war. So that same day, the United States had.
But you get hit with a rock, or.
But no, it was Iran, and Iran is right next to Istanbul. Yeah. So that same
damn,
day,
I didn't even think about putting it all together now.
That same day, the U.S. did a no-fly zone in Iran, like they was gonna hit Iran. So it was but I was like, they don't love me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm brown. They don't love me like that. But it was cool. Like I said, the people. It's a lot of shorter people that I like. Yeah, they were shorter there too, but people was cool that didn't understand me. They tried to understand me. The difference in being American, and like I hate when people in America act like, hey, they speak Spanish, I don't need to speak to them. It's like, yo, if you can help somebody, no matter what language they're speaking. If you can't, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Sound like Bad Bunny.
Right, we can roll right into that one, man.
Nah, it's just weird to me. Like, I forgot what I was listening to. Actually, I was listening to D.L. Hughley and Vlad talk about that. Just literally right before, and it wasn't like even by design, but Vlad had posted something about if it has to be if you're gonna do an American show, then you need to speak Spanish or you need to speak English. And like I said, if anything, I would have liked, and I probably could have turned on I have it on and it wasn't able to capture it, but I had my closed caption on because I'm old and shit. But so it wasn't like, it'd have been cool to have like a translator that was like, hey, look, this is what the words are being said, but at the same time, like it's me accepting somebody else's culture, and it's like, no, I'm cool with Bad Bunny, or I can't remember, did Shakira perform at I think she performed.
No, it was Bad Bunny. Oh yeah, Shakira did perform at the Super Bowl one year.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, I mean, I was when Shakira was performing, I was just like, ooh, you know. But but it was funny. Like I
Bad
was
Bunny
watching.
had some eye candy out there too, though. Like he had a
No,
lot of eye
look,
candy out
but
there.
look, it's funny. So I was watching it. And this guy that was sitting next to me, like it was like Super Bowl party, whatever. But was watching it, and the guy, he was like, it's like, oh man, this done messed up my food. Blah blah blah. Like he was pissed. Like it was a scene. I don't know if you like. I mean, I'm pretty sure you watched it. I don't know if you watched it or not. But it was a scene. It was like two dudes
kissing in the truck, right? Were they kissing
like in between the truck? Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was like I was like, is that two dudes? Like I didn't really care either. So like I'm gonna just keep it 100.
But listen, it was like, but I'm talking about like that was the only thing I remember seeing that was kind of like. I mean, like I said, I'm okay with if you want to be gay, shit, do that shit. But what I'm saying is like that ruined his day. Like that nigga was like, oh God, I don't even want to watch this no more. I'm like, bro, like I don't like it ain't that bad. Like I'm not saying that like if it's something that you're not used to or you don't care about, that's cool too. But at the same time, it was literally like a second and a half, and his whole Super Bowl halftime experience, like it was almost like fuck Bad Bunny at the I mean, he was already on the fence. Other shit, but like that shit just took up, and I'm like, damn, I was like, bro.
So that was two dudes. I was like, yo, was that two dudes? I didn't know.
Yeah, it was two dudes, and it was real quick. And I was like, well, look at him go, like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, he that dude had not watched P Valley then, right? He had to not watch P Valley because
P Valley was extreme.
Took that way.
P Valley, I remember, I was like, damn, like they could stop now, like shit.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they.
And it was like I said, it wasn't like anything against gay people or anything like that. But I'm like, okay, this is obtuse.
It was a like I know heterosexual
on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and like
that was the only scenes that they were showing too. It wasn't really like a lot of scenes with the male and female. It was just literally just them two. And I was like, damn, like them
three,
huh?
Three.
It was a threesome. I don't remember.
Nah, remember old boy with that got out of prison and he was his bodyguard. He was acting a fool, and they was really in love. Love murder and
I need to go back and rewatch that.
No, you don't. It wasn't that.
No, I'm just trying to think of this because I don't remember.
He killed himself in the suicide because he just didn't want to like
like he didn't want to own it or.
Well, he had got out of prison and he just kept making like questionable decisions and like he was putting Lil Murder in a situation where he was happening to go back into the streets. It was again.
Wait! Didn't he smash and then he killed him?
He killed himself. Remember, he killed himself. Yeah, they was in the car and he killed himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not rememberable because it wasn't a great part of the story. I
really be hating subplots sometimes. Like if it doesn't really have a big influence on the plot, like why is this even in here?
Well, see, I think maybe that played a part. That Lil Murder,
how Lil Murder is as a person, like character.
Yeah, how he got into being like
who he was.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching Breaking Bad, and I remember thinking, I was like, nobody cared that because she was a what's the word when you like a serial thief?
Klepto.
Yeah, she was like Hank's wife was a kleptomaniac.
Yeah,
whatever. Like she stole some. She went into a store and stole some shoes and left her shoes there. It was like, what the fuck does it have to do with the story? Like, it had zero to do with the story and who she is as a person. But it is what it is.
Yeah. See, I thought that was but then let's go back to Bad Bunny. So here's the thing. Like last year, the year before last, when Kendrick spoke, he was speaking English, but he was speaking a whole nother language that I was catching than other people was catching, right? So I look at that and say I let other people have their same round. So I don't need subtitles. I have never really listened to Bad Bunny, but that don't mean that I couldn't have got introduced to him. And like I wasn't a real secure fan either. I knew a couple of her songs because I guess I used to listen to the radio.
I don't really want to talk like that. That's like the only song I remember for her. So she definitely did some Spanish joints. So
so I'm okay with it being in Spanish. I'm okay with like I said, it was in English, but he was still speaking to a certain subset of English people, English speakers. That's cool. Right? And my issue with that is they my people to talk like, so MAGA has a culture, right? Mm-hmm. And they were talking about Kendrick Lamar like it was the worst show ever, right? Mm-hmm. And then for my people to turn around and do that to somebody else, I said, like, to me, Sean, if you a good person, if you like, especially my black people, right? For us to go through as much as we do, I would never put somebody else through something that I went through because I went through
it. Yeah, it's terrible. It's not I want to say crab in a barrel, but it's just like it's really trying to like it's almost like I want to like I didn't get a lot of whoopings growing up, but if I got a lot of whoopings, it's like, well, since I got whooped, just how you go get whooped, you go. It's like no, it's like you learn from that, and you don't put people through the same. I mean, I did get whoopings, but like, shoot, I mean, I talked to family, nephew. I mean, I did whoop some of them just because they was out of pocket. But then you learn to talk to them. It's a whole different generation of making sure that you're not doing the things the same way if they can learn a different way. Some of them have been like whoopings didn't have as much of influence, and I can't speak for them, but it didn't seem like whoopings had as much of an influence in their life as it did in mine. And I say I didn't get a lot of whoopings because I was afraid to get whoopings. Like I was so intimidated by the fact that somebody's going to like punish me, and then I'm in trouble and all that stuff. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like kids, not to say the kids now, because they damn near, I mean, they are adults, but like the whoopings weren't really that influential to them as they were to our generation. Like.
And see, like, I think even on a bigger scale, I was watching something and the guy said, hey, it's 61 black nations, right? And you ain't never seen one of them 61 black nations go and take a place away from them and say, hey, you got to do what I got to do, what I want you to do. And you're going to give me everything that's here that I want. And I look at that as like, I know white people have a fear of black people getting in power and doing the same stuff they did to us. And I was like, yo, that'll never happen because, like, for one, going through that. I mean, but no, I'm saying even if we got power, right? Because they scared of us getting power, right? They scared of us getting power. I wouldn't treat them like they treated us because we better than that. Like the worst thing to do is become what your enemy was, right?
I mean, if I was, like I said, I can't speak for them, but I'd be more afraid of Latinos getting power than I would be of black people, just because of the amount. There's more Latinos here, so I see, not that I see why they do it, but like I see why they're targeted. It's like, well, shoot, they're taking over our nation. It's like, no, they're not taking over our nation. They're just coming here to be a part. They're already here. They're established. Why is it that they're not stealing your resources? They're not stealing your jobs or anything like that. They bust their ass just like anybody else should in the U.S.
But here's the problem. We came and took over their place, right? Mexico used to go all the way up to Portland. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It used to go all the way up to Oregon.
I think what just said this earlier. He said there was 6 or 7 states that were just straight up Mexico. Literally was taken away from them.
Yes. So the state of Texas used to be Mexico. Let's even go back even further.
Texas,
Puerto Rico Puerto Rico is a territory of America. So like you can't say speak American. And that was another thing. They was like, yo, speak American.
Speak what you want, man.
What is speaking American when they were on their island chilling and we said we want you and now we got you. You are us. We give you citizenship, but not full voting rights, right? On the island, you don't have full voting rights. If you come to Florida or whatever, or New York, you got full voting rights. But
but why does it gotta be? Why can't, if it was a motherfucking Yugoslavian artist, like who, like I said, I don't have to be a part of the culture to respect the culture,
right? So,
and I think that's the bottom line. It's like, no, if it's Bad Bunny, if it's Nikola Jokic, like nigga, I don't give a shit.
Hey,
like
so
I can't be like, oh, Nikola Jokic, he over here winning our MVPs and shit. Like, damn, like
see, I think next year it should be K-pop. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the diversity of it will bring more people into it than it being just solely like. And I'm not a K-pop person. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I know BTS.
Yeah, I go to Korean barbecue places and that shit is playing on every screen and shit. And I be like, oh, that sound like Usher. Oh, that sound like NSYNC.
Yeah, it reminds me of NSYNC and the dance moves and stuff like that, which reminds me of the Jacksons and the dance moves and stuff like that, which reminds me of the Four Tops and the dance moves. It's all our culture just spent around.
Right? That's cool. I mean, like I said, I don't know, man. We get so not to say we, but because I'm not a part of that. Because I try not to. I'm just like, man, let people be who they are. If it's bad, like I said, if it's Bad Bunny performing. If it's like I said, Shakira or Beyonce or Prince or Michael or Kendrick Lamar, like hell, me personally, I didn't understand like all of Kendrick's show. I'm like, okay, this is like way too deep for me. Like, and I'm watching, but at the same time, yeah, but I'm for it though, you know, and like. It's Kendrick, cool, you know. I like Kendrick, you know, but I'm like, okay, there's all these damn hidden messages. I was like, why in the hell Serena over here, crip walking and shit? It was just a lot going on in that performance. I was like, this is a lot, but at the same time, it's like, but it's Kendrick. Like that's a show. I put like this: majority. I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like the majority of people was literally waiting for him to do Not Like Us.
Yeah, I would say that, but then Shantae, thinking about that, how many Super Bowl shows have you said you've been impressed with?
I mean, I could probably maybe about 10.
10? 10? All right, so give me 5 of your 10.
Prince, Mike, Usher, Beyonce, some of Rihanna, even though she was pregnant. Let's see, that's 5 right there. So I mean, but ironically, I'm about to say, yeah. So that's like, I was impressed with that. So I mean, I put it like this: if the show didn't like interest me, I think U2 did it one year, and I was like, all right, well, shit, time to go get more nachos and shit. Like nigga, like I feel like I don't like, and that's how I just look at it. It's like, well, if it's not for me, like I wouldn't be like, oh man, he doesn't speak to the black culture.
It's been way more shows I didn't care about
black culture. Yeah, majority of it don't speak to the black culture. Yeah, you know, but I'm cool. Like, I mean, hell, when Justin Timberlake, like it's like a bunch of shows. I mean, I like Justin Timberlake, but it's like if I don't identify with the artist that's performing, then but I'm just like that anyway though. Like if I don't fuck with it, then shit, I ain't gonna sit up here and have a show on and then be like I said with the dude with the the dude that was sitting next to me talking about the gay scene or the gay interaction. Like, kiss, bro, like it ain't really that like but the thing is it's only what you put into it is what you go get out of it. You know, okay. So if I can find a reason to get mad, then I'm gonna be mad, and then I'm gonna sit up here and just be mad about it for the rest of my life. You know, but if I be like, oh well, then I then it moves on. You know?
But so I think that's a maturity thing, and like one of the topics is aging out of things, and I think like, do you think that's not something that you got with maturity, or that's not something that you said the way you understand as you grow older that the world is not catered to you?
Yeah. But that's the beauty. Like, so I mean, you said the aging out of things and being mature. It's like I feel I feel like people only get older. I don't think everyone gets mature. And I say that as in 20 years ago, I didn't care about the Super Bowl performance. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really like I was like, oh, well, I don't know, trying to think 20 years ago. Oh, Janet Jackson's performing. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you're talking like
Bon
28.
Jovi, you talking like they had a bunch of stuff, people that I was like, yo, I don't, and I like Bon Jovi, but
And
I
sometimes I
think,
would watch it just because it's the halftime show, but I wouldn't watch it to find flaws in why I don't want to watch it, is what I'm saying.
but
Like I could care less. Like I just like, well, somebody like Bon Jovi, somebody like U2, somebody like, who's ever performing.
but I
So
think
you know,
so. Do you think that that your age, like even at you said 20 years ago, even at your age 20 years ago, you realize that hey, I'm at the age where this you realize certain stuff don't really matter, don't really you like people taking this stuff way too serious, and you're like, yo, it's a show. Like do you think? And when I thought of the topic, that's when I was like, yo, you just get to know what's important and what's not,
mhm.
right? And like you said, you got 17 summer stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got 17 summer stuff.
yeah.
Why
I don't have no
worry
time
about?
to I don't have no time to put I don't have the time to be mad at a Super Bowl show. And that time could be better served somewhere else. I'll see posts and stuff like that. I'm like, well, what's the investment? And like I said, I've gotten to the point where I try not to understand people's whys anymore, just because I'll be sitting up here beating myself in the head all day trying to figure out why this person posted this, why this person posted that. And I'm not going to argue or debate with people either. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a conversation, but as soon as I start to see, like, it was funny, I was having a conversation one day about, something as simple as like astrological signs. And I'm like, why is this? Like, I don't, I never invested in astrological sign, like, because I just feel like I tell people all the time, like, hey, look, me and Mariah Carey got the same birthday, but that don't mean we the same person. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are two totally different people. And maybe it's because of money, but I would never consider myself where I can compare myself to her in any light, any level, etc. So it's just like, when you do that, you box people in to say that this person is like this. I would rather box people in by the things that they say. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I would be like, okay, this person's weird, or this person is biased. This person is a bigot. This person is a hateful person. So I keep people at bay like that. So that's you think about it, like when we grew up, right? We didn't have no choice with who we grew up around. Like, it wasn't well, if you didn't want to go to Nelson, then you went to, I don't know, some school in the Heights. You went to, was Edgewood, or you went to a
Yep,
different school. You know what I'm
Edgewood,
saying? So
yeah.
so like no, like we literally had to learn how to socialize ourselves within these environments, but at the same time, we couldn't escape. Like, if somebody had like those bias, it'd be like, oh man, I hate the Super Bowl at 7 years old. Like, shit, we had to, not to say we had to have a conversation, but we didn't have we can move ourselves away from it. And that's where the aging out part comes. Is like, no, I can remove myself totally from that dialogue, or that, I don't say that pitiful dialogue, but those conversations that I feel are conversations that, I'm not saying shouldn't be happening, but it just feels offensive, and I don't have to be a part of that. So yeah, I mean, I age out of people all the time, and just age out of circumstances too. It's like, well, no, you got to continuously grow, and I think growing is important, but I feel like a lot of people don't mature. So
Yeah, I mean, like I tell people all the time, age has nothing to do with being an adult, right?
Mhm.
Because you can be of age and not ever really be an adult. Like
Yep.
you can't, like
You can still be
adulting
thinking like
takes
an 8-year-old.
or 17-year-old plus.
As a 65-year-old, you know,
Yes, yes,
you're still
yes.
over here thinking like a child. So
Yeah. And so I think about the stuff that I truly aged out of, right? And I was like, yo, I've never thought about renting a car until like my daughter had to rent a car one time. She was like, Dad, I ain't 25. And I'm like, oh shoot. Why in the world? I forgot about that. I never bought liquor or whatever. But I think of that, and I also think of like the aging out. You start thinking about what do it matter? Like I look at Facebook sometimes and I'll be like, yo, it don't matter. Like I could say something, I could write something, I could be something, and it don't matter. Like I look at these,
well, sometimes
so-called.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it doesn't matter, just because I mean this goes to your point that you said earlier that if you say something, you got to stand on it. So yeah, it don't like if you say it, you can be impacted by somebody that it affects. You know what I'm saying? But looking at other people's stuff, nah. I mean,
And see, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying scrolling down, looking at other people's stuff. Dog,
I ain't got the energy for it. I could be on Facebook all day or Instagram all day or TikTok or whatever it is. And it's funny. I learned that not necessarily the hard way, but I was kind of like I always do kind of a analytic check on myself. And I do that as in like, what am I watching now? What was I watching last year? And I was thinking, I was like, damn, I tend to watch more YouTube videos than I did with all of the streaming networks that I watched maybe a year ago or maybe 2 years ago. But the thing is, you're watching YouTube, right? It's all a algorithm driven thing, right? So and it's funny, I've been watching these videos about it's like the 15, and I think I sent you and Eddie one, but the 15 to 20 things that you didn't know about this movie or about this show, blah blah blah. And I'm literally in that rabbit hole right now, like where I'm trying to think of the most recent one. I watched it about the Fat Albert movie yesterday and shit, but because I never watched that movie, but all of the weird shit that happened or that was going on during that show or that movie. But I'm saying, like, I could sit here and do that 8-10 hours a day about all of this stuff, all this useless knowledge of like, look what happened in Minister Society. Like, of course we knew Tupac beat up one of the brothers. I'm just saying, like, it's just it could go so deep into it where it's like, okay, I'm in this rabbit hole, but at the same time, it's like, but who cares? Like, nobody cares about this. I mean, only I care because I grew up watching Boys in the Hood. I grew up watching Mrs. Society. So, I stick to certain things that, that I'm focusing on. But I'm saying, like, certain people could get in these rabbit holes of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as something else feeds the algorithm, I'll probably be watching something else, or as soon as a new episode of, Beauty comes on Hulu, then, then I'm talking about something different. It just depends on, like, who the person is and how they get so wound up on thinking things have to be a certain way and not being able to get out of that endless cycle,
that bubble, because you create these bubbles, right? So like the one thing so now I'm in technology, and I was talking to you and your boy about it when we was climbing up the Stone Mountain, right? Mm-hmm. So you think about these technologies and how good these technologies, like, you get people in these social media bubbles that are like-minded, and you don't think about the downside of it, right? You don't think that you could be putting all these terroristic people together and they're coming up with something together. And so you don't actually think about the downside of the technology that you're building, right? Or the technology that you're building. And like, how could it be used?
AI is learning you just like it's learning them.
Yes.
Which is scary.
Is it scary if they don't ever have a gun to pull it? Yeah.
No. I'm saying it's scary because, like, say for instance, we're within the tech space, but that person's in the tech space too. So they could be using the tech in a bad way or in a way not so productive. You know what I'm
What?
saying? So
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
like you said, it's reading what they write and what you write, right? So then
Mhm.
think about what that means. That means that you are given the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, uh, and the computer got to make sense out of it.
Yeah,
That's that's crazy.
it's
You
scary. No,
that's the definition of insanity because it's bipolar because people are bipolar. People will love you to death and they hate you more. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
Like,
yep.
yeah,
I mean, you talking the whole was it hallucinations within AI too? That it's just
making
giving.
up stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of like and everybody's inputting it into it. I think it'll work itself out. I don't want to pivot the conversation, but keep going. My bad. People in tech or you in tech and all that, and we in tech, but keep going. My bad. I done
Well, no, because I
pivoted.
appreciate where you're going because that's actually the other topic is what we hold value to, right? And so,
Mhm,
like, even in the same topic of AI, like what I hold value is what I hold value is making good things happen, right? Making like I want my community to thrive. I want my community to say, "Hey, we're not out here fighting for 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 endless resources. We out here fighting to make use of the resources that we have, right?" And
mhm,
so, like those values hopefully come across to the AI and they can give weight to it, right? But then on the other side of it, the values of hate and saying, "Hey, these people are taking all our jobs. These people are taking all this
mhm.
from us," and then they say, "Okay, like now you got me thinking, what is the AI value, right? What if you put apples and apples and it's evenly consuming it? Like, what will it end up valuing? Like, you ever think about it?
No, so look at it like this, right? There's positive ways that you can use technology, and then there's negative ways you can use technology. We've seen it in both, right? And from that, like one positive, right? And I'm just going to speak to a situation that you spoke to on a podcast before. You had spoke about Damaris. You said he saw the workouts and stuff like that. Kind of it motivated him to do this, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? He saw the positive in that, and that ended up influencing change in his life, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? But then you have like I ain't gonna say names, but you have people post these certain things that can seem to be hateful. Or I want to say seem, but they definitely feel like they're targeting. And when you do those things, I
They can be
know
seen
that
as hateful. They definitely can be seen as hateful.
yeah, I mean, some of that shit is just flat out hate. It ain't, when you post uh to people transitioning or that are the trans community and stuff like that and talking about do you think they should be able to have babies? It's like, bro, like, like you're really kind of targeting a certain group. You know what I'm saying? And so those things, like, those are the things that bothers me the most. But the thing is, it's like I saw the positive from with the Damaris thing, but then I saw the negative from this. You know what I'm saying? My intentions or my goals are to draw more from the positive than from the negative. So, I still post my workouts, I still do everything that I do. But like say for instance within or say AI, right? Like the positives for me is it makes my work easier. You know what I'm saying? It makes my work easier because I gotta have a lot of documentation to cover everything that I'm doing within my career and stuff like that. So it's making that part, that much easier. It's funny. I had an interview, and during the interview, I kind of not to say I felt ashamed, but because I'm like, damn, this is way too easy, but the guy he's interviewing me, he asked me, he's like, yeah, how much do you use AI? And I was like, and I didn't want to, because I didn't want to, because I had to come up with a presentation, and I generated the whole presentation strictly off of AI. But of course, I went through, I did. I mean, you can't fully, say that it's so. I had to go through and do my edits and make sure that the information that was being presented, like I said, you got hallucinations that can happen within the AI thought process. So, but I was like, yeah, probably about 50 or 75. And he was like, it's like, yeah, we use it all the time. I was like, Yes. I was like, but I'm thinking about like, so for our job, like he's using it, but I felt almost ashamed to say that I use it all the time now, because it don't, you either working, you work smarter, not harder, right? So I that's the positive that I get from it, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the negative side yet outside of hallucinations and just stuff just being random. I was like, yo, it's like I didn't do that. Like if I say, hey, take my resume, generate this, and da da da, like, oh, it's like I didn't do that. Let me pull that out, or let me start practicing so I can say I did do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just little things like that that I draw. I don't really see AI being, because people feel like it's going to replace them at jobs and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, the part is it has to be monitored and controlled. Like you can't just abide by and say, well, I got the AI answer. I mean, because you still got to think, right? And you still got to present this information. But I see more of the difficult or the bad part from technology is the technology that people are putting information out there. So the Instagrams, the social medias more than anything, I feel like are more of a negative than the actual AI idea.
Well, see, I think the negative with the AI stuff, and then I'm gonna go back to the value. The negative with the AI stuff is that it's regurgitating slop. A lot of this stuff is AI reading AI and creating more AI, right? So, like, and when I say creating more AI, you got people that will go and get a news story, create an article off of the news story that's already been written that was using AI, and just use it for their own, right? Or add a picture of them, and it's like, yo, like, I think
they doing it on YouTube, Instagram. They doing it on everything else.
Yeah, and so like,
the fuck out of me whenever I see like a Dave Chappelle clip and it's not Dave Chappelle like that posted it, or even like the Comedy Central thing. Like I liked it from the source, and sorry to interrupt, but I was watching this video yesterday. I told you that rabbit hole that I'm in. It was a video talking about different strokes. I looked at the 15 weird things of different strokes. And the guy that was narrating it was pissing me off only because he was offering his opinion rather than the actual facts that may have came out or that were within the show. Like it was saying like what's his name? Mr. I can't remember his real name, but Mr. Drummond. But it was saying how he knew that I can't even think of her name, but the daughter, he's like, he knew that she was being sexually assaulted. He knew assaulted. He was saying that he knew that Ty Bridges was high. He knew about Arnold's discomfort. He had like a disease or whatever. And he was implicit in all of the things. I was like, yo, like, how do you, like, there's nothing that came out that said that he was complicit. Not as I said implicit earlier, complicit in any like her being assaulted or Ty being on or Will being on drugs and stuff like that. And those are the things that are scary. But I mean, that shit was happening. I remember watching a Jay-Z. There was this pastor talking about Jay-Z, saying Jay-Z was the devil. And this is like 2012, 2011. And look, I remember watching this video, and it was 29 minutes. And it was all on a breakdown of what's the song? New York, whatever.
Welcome to New York.
No, New York with Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
And it was saying that because Jay-Z says a line, says something about the prostitute goes to church, and then something like she's awakened or something like, I don't know. He says something that, and I'll pull up the lyrics, but he says something that the pastor didn't interpret Jay-Z's
nuances. Yeah, because it's a nuances that he was putting on it.
It's almost like pulling from the Bible and saying, okay, this verse is it, but not reading around like the rest of the verse. But he went on for 29 minutes talking about like, this is why Jay-Z is the devil. And I was like, wait, now this is scary because you're talking like an official pastor. You're not talking like somebody's just a random YouTuber and stuff like that. You're talking about somebody that has a following or has a congregation that's listening to him. And he's over here saying that this person is a devil. And then the other part that really bothered me about it was that's if you abide by the Bible, and this is actually one of the topics too, but if you abide by the Bible, that's not something that you should do to another man or a member, like the devil, like you're as a pastor, it's like the whole, you make sure that you make sure your congregation is good. You invite people to, your worship, and you try to help them understand the things of the Bible, but you don't say that this person, you can't say, well, you can say whatever the hell you want, but
you can't come up off another person downfall, right? I mean, you can't come up off putting somebody else down, right?
Yeah, like just imagine me talking to you, and I'm like, man, what you said, man, that's some devil shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say that about you. Like, I mean, like I said, you can say whatever you want, but I was like, I can't say just because you said something or I interpreted something that you said a certain way that you're the devil. Now, of course, you can be foul mouthed, you can do all of the things, but I'm not here to judge you. That's for God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to tell you who you are as a person, because nothing.
I might know who you are as a person, but I'm not here to tell you. I mean,
but nothing makes me better than you, and nothing with you makes you better than me. We are all children of God, quote unquote. If you're abiding by the laws of the Bible, so it's like you got to be cautious of the things that you're saying just because you're a pastor. You know what I'm saying? Because you lead a group. You know what I'm saying? Versus like you can have your own opinion and stuff like that, but you are saying that you live by this book. You know what I'm saying? As a pastor.
That's crazy, because I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday, because I told her Jesus was love, and she was like, "Nah, you ain't know Jesus was turning over tables." And I was like, anger is not in the absence of love. You know what I'm saying? But I would just
stop talking to her after like 8 seconds. I hate people like that. I really hate the God guards. I really hate people like that. And look, what was the aging out of it? I've definitely aged out of conversations with certain people about certain things. And I mean, I always try to, stay away from religion and state anyway, or church and state anyway. But, when you say stuff like that, it's like,
man,
like,
it's I think
you're looking
I'm
for confrontation. I don't like people looking for confrontation. I'll just say like you're looking to have an argument with me, and I'm not with that. And I'm not going to argue with nobody. I'm too old. I'm aged out of arguing with people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not arguing with nobody about no company, about the work I do. If you don't fuck with the way that I like, of course I'll try to, like working for somebody that I'm gonna do the things, and I'm not gonna be argumentative and anything like that. But at the same time, it's like, nah, like somebody else over here, like, hey, you have to do it like this. Like, oh, okay, well, let's table that and we'll figure that out, and we'll talk about this after this meeting. like, no, I don't have the time to sit up here and discuss what I should be doing during this meeting. Like, this meeting is supposed to be like this, so and even something like with dating someone, like, you're not going to sit up there and argue with somebody about something that I want to say that you don't believe in, but I'm not going to argue like, hey, look, I say, hey, I want to have kids. You say, I don't want to have kids. I'd be like, agree, disagree. Like we hey, look, I want to go to Applebee's. Like, I can't eat Applebee's because Applebee's is below me. It's like, all right, well, shit, I'm going to Applebee's. I catch up with your ass later. I'm just saying, like, people just find reasons to separate each other rather than trying to find reasons to love. You know what I'm saying? Like, to figure out how you can work out rather than, I mean, like I said, even the astrological sign. I'm like astrological sign. Like, I mean, and I've always been like, I'm like, nigga, that shit. You know, it's funny. As a kid, I thought I was
means everything.
Look, I thought I was a Pisces. I was there like 8 or 9 and shit. Somebody's like, "No, that's Aries." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like, who cares? Like, should they go get me nothing? Like, when I'm over here trying to, pay my mortgage and stuff like that, the Mr. Cooper ain't gonna be like, "Hey, he an Aries, so yeah." So he ain't gonna pay on time, or like that shit has no bear. Or shoot, we should we hire Sean and they in this big ass room with like 4 or 5 people? They were like, well, he is an Aries.
We need an Aries to balance out this balance out our tribe, right?
Right. Yeah. It's like no, that shit gets you nowhere, man. It's just like,
again, man, as you grow older, you start thinking this stuff don't matter. Like all this stuff that y'all choose to dive into, and like your YouTube bubble, you were talking about your YouTube bubble, going into the movies and stuff. My YouTube bubble is about infrastructure projects, right? I don't know what it is, but I love to see like they was talking about the Panama Canal and like the tallest the longest bridge, and like in Europe they putting the tunnel under the ground, and they like like I love seeing people move stuff out, and like this is going to be something that's going to last 50, 100 years, and people going to use it, and it's going to cut down time. So like I'll be in that mode and be thinking, wow, like this is my bubble. And then like energy, like that's my and those are things that value to me. Like I need to have my power. I need to have my power be worth something. You know what I'm saying? Or
no, I get it. But the crazy part, I mean, not the crazy part, but the thing is, I may or may not care about that at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. Like if you have, like, say if you're having a conversation with me and you're telling me these things, and I'm just like, I mean, that's cool, like, and I'm just kind of like just going like me personally. I mean, like me, I'm saying me from your perspective, the way I would think is like, all right, well, let's talk about something else, because this motherfucker don't care about energy and shit. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and overtalk somebody about some astrological signs, and that shit means nothing to the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, like me talking to you, right? And you're atheist. And I'm sitting up here telling you, like, well, this is my faith, and this is what I believe, da 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 da. It's like, all right, nigga, damn, like, can we figure out what can we figure out when we go into Applebee's?
Full circle.
Right, it's just like, it's just interesting when, like I said, I don't mind, open people minds up to topics and expressing them to them, but when you have a topic and it just doesn't, like, it could be something that's passionate for you, but it may not be as like, everyone doesn't have to have the same passion about things, and that's where you let people be who they are. Like, if you, like, say for you, we go back to the energy thing, and me and you are talking, I'm like, well, like, Brian is very strong-minded about this. So me personally, I would still like try to invest some energy. I'm not going to invest all of it because it's not something that I may or may not focus on, but I'm still going to listen and hear you out. But but I wouldn't expect you to overtalk me either, and just be sitting up here like it has to be a conversation. It can't be a
I'm talking to myself. I've been in those conversations too, where you're talking to yourself.
Nigga, 8 or 9 minute monologue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time I went out. It was kind of foul on my part, but I take it is what it is. But I went out with this woman, and she was talking, and she wasn't listening. I was like, all right, man, just go ahead and talk. And then she's just talking. Man, I took my phone out, I put the timer on, and I just let it run. And just let it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, she was like, what you doing? Like, yeah, you've been talking for 3 straight minutes, and there hasn't been no engagement and no interaction from me at all.
I mean, we've had that on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's let it talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But,
yeah. But the thing, but that's like it's a respect thing, but at the same time, it's like, bro, don't over talk. It like you say on the podcast, it's like, God damn, like can we have a conversation? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's about. You know, like it ain't about, you know, like of course you can get your, I want to say get your rocks up, but you can get the topic stuff that you want to say, and it's fine. Like you sit up there, you can talk. I mean, and I can talk too, but I mean, you can sit up there and talk for 4 or 5 minutes, but it's something that I'm listening to and I'm engaged in. You know, it can be because you can have more information on something than I do. I'll tell people all the time, I don't know everything. And that's the beautiful part of just knowing who you are. It's like, yeah, I mean, we used to have to always prove ourselves to say that we know this, or we were knowledgeable on this, or we knew all of the hip hop artists and stuff like that. It's like, nah, nigga, like I don't know everything. I could tell you, you say like the last 4 or 5 years of new artists, like shit, I don't know shit. I mean, and I DJ and shit, like, but you know what I'm saying? Somebody come to me and be like, oh no, you need to grab I don't know, this album and da da da, or DJ with this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate the input. But you don't get that, you don't get learning with trying to know everything. And have you ever seen people that don't like the situation because it's not the same as it used to be? Does that make sense or no?
When you say like you could be in a relationship and stuff change, and now
that's a good one. That's exactly
and then never go back. Like you can say stuff to somebody that affect them, and a relationship will never be the same, right?
So I give a prime example. I remember, my bad. It was a situation that it said that it was this woman that was dating a man. And I don't think we talked about this, but it was this woman that was dating a man, and she was saying that things like we're not doing all the things we used to do, blah blah blah. But add caveat to the story, the woman had 3 kids. They ended up moving in with the man. So, but she was talking about, well, I don't get to go out on dates no more, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm thinking of it from the flip of it. I was like, yo, this man just took on a whole family to move in with him. So of course they're not going to do all of the dating things or all of these things because he just took on a whole family in that scenario. So, and that's just as an example, but like, is it a thing that, people think that things should stay the way that they used to be and they can't get past it? Because I always feel like you must evolve in order to, like us applying for jobs, right? Or looking for jobs. Like we don't do the same strategy that we did 10 years ago or 20 years ago, right? So we'll look at it like, oh, well, let me, add something within the current landscape. Let me add something from this AI to be able to improve my resume, or let me make sure that, hey, I can put all these documents together now, and you can pull that information out of it versus I need to be very specific to the specific job that I'm applying to and things like that. So I'm saying, like, do you feel like people get stuck in a box of thinking a certain way? And I do feel like that. So just to explain, but like, why is it that, and if you don't think that that's fine, but if they do, why can't they get out of that?
So the way that I see your question is twofold, right? The only thing constant is change, right? And you can't keep doing the same thing expecting different results. So you gotta change. And I talk about one of the things that changed a lot. Like in the city of Muskegon, we used to have one-way streets downtown, right? Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden they've changed the one-way streets. They've changed the
Heck fucks me up. Like Stanford fucks me up. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Where's this light at that just when we just got into the hikes? I'm like, this shit literally fucks me up whenever I go home. Like, there used to be like a light on Peck and then a light on what's that street?
Sanford.
Yeah,
Sanford.
yeah. So yeah, that shit fucks me up every single time, like going up and down the city. And then also too the tracks. It's like, does the tracks really separate? I'm just speaking from small Muskegon hometown, but does the tracks really separate? Because it was literally when you cross the tracks, you was in the hikes or whatever. So is that really a separation if there's no tracks there? So I don't know. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, so like I said, like that change affects me, right? But then I can't do anything about it because they didn't change the streets. Now you can make a left on Laketon on Sanford, which is weird. You know what I'm saying? And I can only say, hey, going forward, like the reason why it was a one-way street is because they said we had industry, and industry at some time needed, and industry has changed, so we don't need those anymore. But I say that to say that everything is changing, and sometimes you don't have control over change. And even though you want it back, you don't get it back. And I look at it too, because like one thing that I was upset with back at home is that they put a moratorium on short-term rentals, right? And the reason why they put a moratorium on them is because the people in Bluffton and the more affluent people were mad because they couldn't even buy the houses down the street from their house, right? And to me, I was like, hey, welcome to America. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even in our neighborhood, we had houses that we couldn't buy. You know what I'm saying? So like now y'all changing the game because short-term rentals, they having problems with short-term rentals, or you having problems with new people coming into your neighborhood that you don't know, and you can't call the police on them because they don't stay there long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that cultural change too that's affected by it. But I am of the nature, and the only thing that you can get used to is getting used to change.
Yeah, no, I mean I abide by it. I was talking to someone and I was trying to help them. So I was talking to this dude, right? And I'm telling him, and this is weird to me. Like, so I'm talking to him, and like my boy at this company I used to work for, he introduced me to him because the dude is trying to like transition his job and stuff like that, So as I'm talking to him, he's like, yeah, and this is kind of on subject, but not really. But this goes to effort within the change. But I'm talking to him. He's like, yeah, I'm looking for jobs and blah blah blah. And I was like, cool. Like, what all places have you targeted? He's like, well, I haven't submitted anything yet. I'm like, how are you applying for jobs or looking for a job and you're not submitting to any job? Like that didn't make any sense to me. And like I said, he's a little older than us, not like crazy amount. I think maybe like 2 or 3 years, but he was kind of expecting that recruiters would reach out to him versus him actually applying for jobs. And I'm assuming that because I'm like, how else would you be looking for a job? Well, you're not technically looking for a job if you're not applying, unless you're just going to websites or LinkedIn and using whatever search engines to be able to find a job. But I'm saying for me, like, I know that the game has changed, right? And I'm saying like I have to apply for. I would say the last 2-3 jobs that I worked at, they weren't any companies that I was targeting. They were companies that I was either reached out about, or amongst all of the applying, I managed, like, that was the one that hit. I mean, it was within my field, so it wasn't like that far off. But at the same time, it's like, well, if you're not looking for jobs, and even, I don't remember, maybe even 10 or 20 years ago, that any job that I was looking for was looking for me, what I'm saying, for lack of better words. I've always been trying to get the opportunity, or be seen, versus someone actually reaching out to me. And it's always interesting now. Dog, I got hit up yesterday about a job, and the guy hit me. He was like, yeah, man, the job is in Brooklyn, and you gotta be on site 3 times a week. And I was like, and I done got hit up multiple times about this or about New York. And I'm like, where are y'all? Like, why are y'all hitting me up for New York? I live in Atlanta. Why is this a thing? And then, but I realized they're using a whole older platform that I don't even use anymore. They're using Career Builder, which I haven't. I can't remember the last time I used Career Builder or even Monster. For I mean, hopefully y'all still doing business. But like I said, I don't. But they for some reason had Brooklyn or I had New York listed on my resume, which made no sense because hell, I haven't considered New York in over 10 years. So I'm like, what resume? I haven't been back. I just found this out yesterday. But all that being said, back to the dude, I'm like, bro, like, why are you not applying for jobs? And I was talking to someone else and they were saying, well, hey, I'm doing this, but I'm kind of taking the time out from looking for jobs. And I was like, taking the time, like, that's something new? Like, if I'm not working, there is no time out. There is full. I mean, unless I got, the kitty that can hold me down for a period of time. Like, yeah, I mean, you could take time, but no, like I need money. Like I need income, dividends. Like I need money coming in. I mean, just so it don't like I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose. I want to pay car insurance. I want to pay insurance in general. But it's just interesting, like the new take on like, well, I can look for this job when I need one. It's like, no, you should be looking now. So when it gets down to it, it's a lot easier to keep your finance because you don't want to milk all your savings. But I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. But it was just interesting, like the two different takes on like the one dude was expecting to be seen.
Yeah,
but he wasn't like visible. But then the other person, they like doing all of the other things instead of looking for a job. I'm like, yo, like, this whole mental health and like, I mean, I believe mental health is definitely important, but I will never stop looking for a job unless I have the capacity to not look for one.
See, this reminds me of something. So, and I know if this young lady ever sees the podcast, she'll be like, "Oh, he talking about me." But what's crazy is that you have these situations in other places, right? Because like she's a Christian lady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what these church people always.
Does she have a pocketbook?
I don't. She probably does. Right? So here's the thing. She said
grandma used to have all the candy in her purse, man.
Yes,
like,
yes.
I remember grandma's pants was itchy. She like I used to lay on her leg like
that tweed fabric. Yeah.
That shit was itchy.
It felt like straw. Yeah.
That shit was like a fucking Brillo pad.
But the crazy part is she's not dating. She's not looking for a date. She's not dating. She wants somebody to come find her. And I'm like, they got to know you're available, right? And she was like, if it's God's willing, then it'll be, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. So if you in that lane where you waiting on something to happen, and like she want to have kids, she want to be married. That's how she says, because she's from the East Coast. I want to be married. But that's cool. But if you want to be married, but you don't want to make sure people know that you're available to be married, then what are you doing? Nothing.
This is annoying.
It's all annoying. It's all annoying.
Not that she's the worst, but geez, like when you just expect things to come to you versus like think like that's not the way of God. Like you're supposed to put in some effort to. Hey, I'm looking like even if it's something as simple as a dating site or being out more or engaging with your friends, like it's not going to fall from heaven.
Now she was saying
Your
even at
perfect
church,
marriage, your perfect job, or whatever.
even at church, she's not quick to introduce herself to the guys. And I was like, okay, then I don't like you obviously have a disconnect to where you want to be pursued, but you don't want to be in the game. So
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't know what your purpose is, but it's not me to understand because I don't care. And again, I learned to not care about certain stuff because if it don't make sense, it don't make sense. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not here to go on with you. But the gamut of being unemployed. When I was first unemployed, I was like, man, I'm gonna just go out on my own and build some stuff. I
yeah.
was like, yo.
Nothing wrong with that.
Then I was like, yeah. After a month, you're like, yeah, this mortgage. I had two car notes at the time. These car notes and this insurance hitting hard. Like I ain't trying to waste all my money. Let me go find a job. And then the snowball effect of putting these applications out there, knowing that you qualify for the job description, and then you see the federal government laying off all these other developers and stuff. You're like, dang, I'm getting squished, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I got other ways I can make money. Now, it's not as comfortable as my single way of making money. So there's been times where I'll be like, yo, I need a job, but I'm not looking because I'm cooking on something else. But
that's dope though. Like that's the difference. Like these motherfuckers ain't got shit going on. And I'm like, man. Oh, and then I wanted to comment on like, man, this whole pursuance thing. I think that's just so people. I feel like pursuance, in my opinion, means control. And I say that as in control that I can agree or disagree with. It's like say for instance, like I'm like, hey man, you want to go out to eat? And they'd be like, yeah, go ahead and pick a place, and I'd be like, oh shoot, well let's meet at Applebee's. And you'd be like, yeah, I don't really like Applebee's, and I'd be like, all right, man, let's do Fox Brothers. Like, no, I don't really like Fox Brothers. It's just like it's a control thing, but yet, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then you'll say a place, I don't know, you'll say a place that they eventually agree with, but they could have literally just said, I would like to go to this place versus you sitting up here trying to, like, it's a control thing. But I'm saying like the pursuance thing, it's like I always feel like in relationships you should be pursuing each other. Like that's what, in my opinion, makes relationships that much better because you're doing for that person, they're doing for you. It shouldn't always be, like I need to be treated like a princess and da da da. Like, yeah, I mean, you treated like a princess, but I should be treated like a prince or a king. It's like understanding that part. I think it makes it so much easier. But to girls, logic, it's just like I said, a marriage or a relationship isn't going to fall from the sky, and it's just I would say even with COVID, I feel like COVID fucked us up a lot, and COVID, at least from my perspective, made it like open my eyes more. And this is kind of like aging out of it, what we talked about earlier, is that it made me more aware of what I wanted to and not want to deal with. It's like, nah, I just stay at the crib. Nah, I'll just do this. Nah, I'll just like it really made it easier for me to make the decision instead of playing with the Joneses and feeling like you have to be out there, you have to be visible and stuff like that. Like, no, I don't. Like I said, I've aged out of hanging out all the time. Like I'll do certain stuff and I have no problem with, going out, but it's a time limit on when I go out. I'm like, okay, I've had enough. I'm ready to go home.
Okay. So I keep hearing this all the time, right? They be like, it's not enough good brothers out there. It ain't enough good black men. It's like I don't know what high value man is because because you make more money don't mean that you high value or whatever. Why is it that it's not catching? Why is it that I got 4 high value friends, and when I say 4, I got 4 guys. Like I got you, I got Eddie, I got Ron, and I got Raheem, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of y'all successful, right? All of you, well, Eddie, Ron, and you don't have any kids,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and never been married, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that that's what's going on right now? Why do you think we choosing to? When I say we, because I haven't been married yet either. I do have kids. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
been. Why do you think we choosing our peace over getting into? And then I mean, being 40, I'm 49, so being 48, do you feel like there's a timetable for you to get like that, or like what do you think the
To
problem
get like
is
what?
to get find somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with?
No, I don't. I think things happen the way that they happen, right? And you always have to be protective. Like you said, I mean, the peace thing is number one. I mean, when you get to the point of like I said, I had to really. It was a awkward situation even within COVID. I was like, wait a minute, because I bought the house in COVID. But when I bought the house, I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I can work from home. I ain't got to be bothered, and we can't go outside. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, but then it was kind of like, is this what I like? Is this because it's essentially what I always try to get to, at the end of the night, or like it's like, oh well, shoot, like it's your peace, right? It's and don't get me wrong. I mean, people can be within your peace or can be within your space for that peace, but it's just like, you know, you always have to be careful of who you let in, because sometimes, you could be like, oh well, we could be. Look, I give you a prime example. I remember one time this chick. So I went to school with this chick, and we moved in together. Like it wasn't like no messing around or anything like that. But like she was trying to move to Chicago. I was in Chicago in grad school, and like I said, it wasn't nothing like we was messing around or anything like that. But at the same time, she was trying to, she's like, well, I want to go there. I want to come there and blah blah blah. Well, okay, cool. Well, I'm looking for a roommate. So getting a roommate, and nigga, this is the last time I ever had a roommate. Like getting a roommate literally with her ruined almost any chance for me to have a roommate for the rest of my life. I was like, this is so exhausting of you. And like I said, this isn't even like a relationship thing. So I can easily separate myself from this once the lease is over.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying, just imagine, like being in that space and you can't get out of it. And like I said, I mean, it's learning who you're going to be with. But I know that at least for me, I'm looking at like even my house, like considering marriage and stuff like that, I would literally be like, oh well, nah, we got to get a bigger house because I've already made this house my house. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong.
Now,
I'm not.
do
I'm
you
not
think?
to say, well, we can't be in the same space, but at the same time, I'm like, no, I don't want to move none of my shit. Like, this is peace for me. So all this 2,800 square feet, I would probably like because I don't want to give up 500. So I would literally have to move to like 36 or 3,800 square feet just to be even for that to be in consideration.
So you think it's your space, and you not wanting to change your space, or you thinking that it is y'all could build a better? Do you think you could build a better space with somebody?
I mean, to be truthful, I mean, I could work it out. No, I'm saying I could work it out in this space. It's just do I want to, and it's like, but I think it would be better served with rocking out and doing something new for both of us. So it's kind of like it makes it both
You built it
ours rather
together.
than me
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, this is my," because I wouldn't move in with a woman at all. Like that's just a no, So even if they had,
Even if it made
I don't care about finances. Shit, fuck that. Like
but
we would
let's say
we would literally have to rent that house and then we would get another place.
so what if you rented your house because your house was more valuable to
Mhm.
rent and stayed with her and then y'all stack that money, paid off both of the houses. Like, would that be? If it made financial sense?
I don't worry about the finances thing, but I mean, I'm saying from the like I'm so not territorial, but I don't want to get to the point of like, well, this is my house and you can leave. That like I don't ever want to get to that point. So I would rather it be we build together and like, but like you said, I would rent out my house, but I would rent out a house while we're considering buying a house. You know, I'm not gonna rent out the house, move in with her, and then my house is just sitting there by itself. That'd be like, remember I don't know if did you ever watch Dexter?
The killer dude. I watched the later shows. I didn't really watch Dexter, but I watched the Dexter origins and stuff like that. So I gotta.
Yeah, so Dexter had a whole ass apartment that he wasn't gonna let go because he was still doing, not to say I'd be doing dirty or anything like that, but Dexter had a whole apartment that he would not get rid of because that's where he did all of his murders and stuff like that. But I'm saying it from he didn't want to let it go because of his things versus like he ended up moving in the house with I can't remember her name in the show, but ended up moving in with the family just because they ended up getting married, but it came like ended up being that, oh well, Dexter, you didn't tell me you still had your apartment, blah blah blah, but Dexter was kind of using that house just as his safe space, rather than letting it go. So.
And I'll tell you, as I am mature, I feel like I can have my space and I deserve my space. Wherever I'm at, I'm gonna have some of my space because I don't want to feel like I'm in somebody else's space and I'm borrowing it, right? So like even if I moved into a woman's house, I would probably have to have a space in that house that would be mine. I've never.
It'd be like the basement or the attic or a clubhouse or something.
I might put something right in the backyard. Be like, yeah, this my
literally that would be my clubhouse. I have my clubhouse back there. I bought the little tiny homes and shit. And
now that I'm older and I can. See, I'm a man. I can control what I like you said, the money don't matter because like I'm gonna make the money one way or the other. And I got options, right? I got options. I can sell this house and move back to my other house in Muskegon or whatever, right? But like I don't the real thing is I don't have to settle for somebody I don't have to like that's gonna bother me or worry me. You know what I'm saying? Like because I have my own space. And I think that when we talk about aging out, you age out of the bull crap that come with like the like don't be territorial if you want me over here either. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And I have to practice that too. I'm saying like I'm not necessarily territorial, but you have like I have a gaming room, I have my shoe room, I have ladies' room and stuff like that. It's always like I'm like, okay, well, shoot, even if I consider, renting out the basement or whatever, then I would have to like all those rooms change. You know what I'm saying? So now where I record my podcast at is I'll probably end up recording in the main living room rather than in this actual bedroom and stuff like so. But because like I said, I'm not territorial as in like, well, this is my space, da da da. That's what I'm always like worried about with other people. Like I might be reluctant to relinquish that space, but
it's easier for a man. It's easier for a man because women don't want to share.
Or you get on my nerves, go sleep in the living room. Like, no, I would never get to that point, or I'm never that type of person. But at the same time, I've been in situations where those people are territorial. Or in like with their apartment or with their
I was watching a podcast where it said like when men have stuff, we more apt to share it. When a woman has these credentials, I got a degree, I got my own. She don't want to share it with a man because then that make her less than a woman, right? But it's our job to share it with a woman, right? Hey, I got it, ain't no sweat. I've given away a whole house that was worth a lot of money because at the end of the day, I'm like I'm bigger than this. I got one, I got another. I can buy,
Why is that expected though? And I say this, it was this thing that was saying that I saw it was like a meme or something like that, and it was a woman. Actually, no, it was like a video, and a woman she she was saying that the husband was paying all of the bills and doing like and taking care of the kids. He had his own job, and then she had her own job, um, and her money she was putting in her savings, and she like I said, the story is all over the place. Like it's I'll see if I can find the video, but she was saying that the husband had no ambition to get better within his career, so she was thinking about leaving him. And I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, he's taking his check and paying everything. She's taking her check and storing it in her own savings account, and he's taking care of the kids as well too. Of course, they're co-parenting. I mean, they lived in the same house, so but she was saying how he's a good father and stuff like that, but he had no ambition. Like, how do you what are you expected to do in that scenario to say? Because I feel like the ambitious part is I'm taking care of the household. I'm making sure the family's good. Da 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 da. And she was saying that I don't know if she was just tired of him or whatever, but she was literally saying he had no ambition because he wasn't looking at growing within his career. So what's your thoughts on that? Because that kind of is within the same vein that we're talking about, but I'm just curious on your thoughts on that.
That caught me because I actually did one of those on my podcast because this lady was like, she was like, my husband, I mean, my I don't know if it was her husband, but basically he took care of her while she was sick, but now she wanted, like, he ain't taking on dates, and she wants so much more, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dang, that's tough. Dude took care of you while you were sick, and now because he because he might need some time to rejuvenate or figure out. I mean, to change somebody, to help somebody go to the bathroom and all that stuff, that's a commitment, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, I feel like it's easier. We have this "what have you done for me lately" type thing going on, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if women want to stick around for the hard parts when they've been through the good parts, right? Because it's like it could be, but the good parts is what they value, and then they have that nostalgia. It's like that hit that they want to keep hitting, right? And for a man, that might be it in other ways, right? But what I don't understand, and how I feel about what the situation you said, where he wasn't ambitious enough. Like me and my daughter was having a conversation with her boyfriend, and he said if he worked 40 hours, then he should be able to play PlayStation for 6 hours or whatever a day, as long as he's working 40 hours.
6 hours a day?
Yeah, 6 hours a day. So what I told him, I was like, hey, are you taking care of the whole household? Or are you just doing your part? Or are you just saying, hey, I work 40 hours a week. Should nothing else be expected of me? Do you have more bills? Like, to me, like, I couldn't handle somebody being like that with me, right?
6 hours a day?
6 hours a day. So if he wanted to just come home and play the
so
game,
he worked, bro. You got. I look. I as a video game player, 6 hours a day is crazy, and I'm saying that as in, like, I'm just doing the math. Like, you're talking 8 hours a day working, 9 hours of working. Could you say 8 to 5? I don't know if he's working regular day or working regular hours, but get home. I don't know if he's commuting.
Traffic, yeah.
So I don't know if he's commuting. So I'm just gonna equate that to like 10, 11 hours. And then you want 6 hours of video game time. That's 17 hours. And then the rest is sleep. So, like, how do you, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not. So to me, I don't like that scenario.
To me, that ambition is lacking, right? Because even though he's working 40 hours, if you haven't paid, like, let's say you working 40 hours, but it's tight. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna get a different job, you ain't gonna do something different, you ain't gonna find a hustle or whatnot. So I can understand somebody, but it's who you pick too. And like I told my daughter, I say, if you pick somebody who said that they want to play video games for 5 hours, 5, 6 hours a day, then you can't be surprised when they do it.
Yeah, but bro, like, there's no way in hell I would. And like I said, I love playing. Like, I was playing Mortal Kombat yesterday for maybe about an hour and a half, and I love the game. But honestly, I was sitting there. I was like, all right. I was like, I need to get up and do something. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I got to go be productive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to do something different. Like, I've been doing this and don't get me wrong, I love playing video. I can sit up there. I got a whole arcade in the one room. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way in hell that I would be with somebody living and expect them to be comfortable with me doing something for 6 hours straight. Like, it's just, like I said, I'm not advocating for Destiana. I'm not advocating for him. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, if somebody's like, yeah, shoot, for me to do this, I need to be sewing for 6 hours straight. I'm like, sewing? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's almost like that when Martin was talking about, like, yeah, I told Craig and them I was gonna kick it with them. Sorry, gotta go. You know, it's to that point. It's like literally saying, well, I gotta hang with my boys. I gotta do happy hours every day because of the stress of my job. Like, nah, you can't. Nah, nigga. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. See, so it's a double-edged sword. I feel like everybody different. You got to work it out. And yeah, that's the crazy part. But Sean, we into the last 5 minutes, so you wanna take us home?
Oh yes, sir. I just want to say, man, do what you can. Do what makes sense for you. Make sure that you're continuously growing. Make sure that you're doing the things that benefit yourself, but benefit others as well, if possible. But always protect your mental peace. Don't just do things for the sake of other people. I remember one time there was this, like, I went on this trip and they were like, oh, well, we're going to go to this wine mixer. And I was like, okay, cool. Y'all go ahead and do it. But come to find out, I was being rude because I didn't want to do it. It's like, no, for one, I don't drink wine. Two, my back is hurting. And I mean, I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I had neck surgery. So I was in extreme pain at the time. But, of course, I wasn't like telling everybody that I was in this pain. But, I'm just saying, like, do what's best for you in those scenarios, because people are always trying to press you to do things that make sense for them, but it may not make sense for you. Even, we talk about keto, we talk about all those things. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do the keto things, and and if you want to eat that, that's fine. If not, like, what you eat don't make me shit. Like, just make sure that you're doing the things that make sense for you and go from there. What about you, Brian?
I'm gonna keep it real simple, and I'm gonna just be like this: the easiest way might not be the best way, and I say that for people that want to find an easier way out and think that, hey, it's the easy way, it's the best way. Sometimes you put in a little bit more work, and it's better on the back end. So, and I'm saying that in general because we could get deep. But just take it at surface level. Sometimes the easiest way is not the best way. And I can tell you from the past, selling drugs, they used to be like, yo, that's the easy way. But at the back end of that, you find out what's really real.
It's more risk than reward.
Yes.
So thank you. Last thing too. You had brought up a great point. Like with the video I sent you with Dion Cole, it's like, bro, like every problem that you have out there is going to get resolved, like no matter what. So don't try to focus on that. Deal with it how you deal with it and keep it moving. But thank you all for listening. Hopefully y'all like, subscribe, leave a message, leave a comment. We'll talk about any subjects that you bring up. But thank you all from DJ Reality and Brian Clancy from Nothing New Under the Sun. Thank you all for listening. Peace.
Peace.
Awesome.